Nico recovered quickly from her fever. To save time, we decided to split up and look for each stone independently. I traced the pirate Ketch to a remote island in the Caribbean. With the fortune he'd amassed from piracy, he'd retired to a place that was later called Ketch's Landing. It looked like a set of plans. I just had to sneak a look at those plans.
Hey, get out of there.
You know, wherever I go, I hear those words. Paris, Syria, Ireland, or Spain. Makes no difference.
What do you think you're doing?
I was trying to show some interest in your project. I recognized the instrument as a theodolite, but I had no idea how to operate it. Hi, is this Ketch's Landing?
Yeah, that's right.
My name's George Stobart. You're a surveyor, right, Mr.
Bronson. And of course I'm a surveyor. Why the hell else would I have a theodolite?
I don't know. Hobby, maybe?
Yeah, right. What brings you here, anyway?
I'm searching for an ancient Mayan artifact.
What is it? Some kind of jewel?
No, it's obsidian. A black stone with supposedly mystic powers.
You're nuts.
What are you doing with a theodolite?
Surveying the old house. I got great plans for this place.
Oh, yeah?
You bet. Take a look around. What do you see?
Paradise.
I see opportunity. This place is ripe for development.
I like it just the way it is.
And that's where we differ. You see, Mr. Stobart, I'm what you might call a man of vision. I see a great future for Ketch's Landing, and it all starts here, with that house.
How do you survey a house like that?
I've put a target reflector on the end of one of the flagpoles up there on the house. I sight on it from various locations through the theodolite, record the angles along the baseline, and triangulate them to give me the exact position of the target. Understand?
Why the end of the flagpole? Wouldn't it have been better on a corner of a wall or something?
Are you a surveyor?
No, my degree's in law.
Then shut up.
This is similar to the stone I'm looking for.
What makes you think you'll find it here?
Because when the stones were stolen in the 17th century...
Hold it! The stones have been lost for 300 years?
Approximately.
And you're hoping to find them again? You're nuts. And why here?
A wise old Indian shaman told me he saw the stones in a vision.
Ha ha. That's rich. Listen, I got work to do, okay?
Catch you later, Bronson. I didn't want a fishing net. It was a seaworthy little craft, in bad need of a coat of paint, but spotlessly clean and maintained. The kid looked about 11 or 12. He was fishing with the intense concentration of someone who had all the time in the world.
You want to buy some fish?
Nah, I don't like fish. What's your name?
Rio. It means river. What about you?
George. It means, well, it's just a name. Is it true that Captain Ketch lived around here?
That's right. That's his house up on the hill. It's a museum now.
Yeah? That's exactly what I need. Thanks, kid.
You won't get inside, you know. The old ladies close it down.
Who are these old ladies you mentioned?
Miss Frost and Miss Mina Ketch.
How come the old ladies closed the museum?
It's Bronson's doing. Him have the plans for redeveloping the museum. They kind of regret it, you know. The man's a crook.
Will you help me get those plans?
I don't want to go nowhere near that man. He promised to drown me when he found the fish I left in his sleeping bag.
No school today?
No, sir.
What about your education?
I can fish, sail, and swim. I've been looking after myself since I was 6, and I'm bilingual.
Aren't you a little overqualified for a beach bum?
Well, you know, there's a lot of competition.
Do you know anything about pirate treasure?
Man, that's all stories. There's no such thing as a real pirate treasure.
What do you know about Captain Ketch?
Just what everybody knows around here. He was a pirate and get himself hung.
A cute little putty-tat. Actually, no. It was a mangy old flea bag. It was busily torturing a red ball. The flagpole had a reflective target on the end for Bronson to use as a reference point. It was locked.
The house is closed.
How come?
It is undergoing refurbishment.
Oh, of course. This must be the place Bronson's surveying.
The intention is to prepare the museum for the new century.
The Frederick Ketch Memorial Museum. It would look nice in neon.
A museum for a pirate? There was a stony silence.
Frederick Ketch was emphatically not a pirate. It's precisely this sort of vile misrepresentation that Mr. Bronson is seeking to rebalance.
Oh? How?
Mr. Bronson has kindly agreed to undertake the museum's refurbishment at a very reasonable price. He understands the importance of a sense of history.
Funny. That's not the impression I got of Bronson at all.
He also understands spherical geometry.
Mina?
Well, he does.
Listen, ma'am. I came a long way to visit this place.
If we make an exception in your case, everyone will want to get in.
Pardon me, but I didn't exactly have to fight my way through the crowds.
You're the second visitor we've had today.
No, I'm sorry, but it's impossible.
Two old ladies were sitting outside the house, enjoying afternoon tea. Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stobart. Would you care for tea?
No, thank you, ma'am. I don't like tea. Is that your cat?
Yes, it is.
That's Ruddles.
Do you like cats, Mr. Stobart?
I love them. They're so cute with their claws and their little puckered butts.
Aren't they, though?
Don't encourage him, Mina.
Can you tell me anything about Captain Ketch?
More than you can tell me about your great-great-great-great-grandfather, no doubt.
You're his descendants?
Certainly. Captain Ketch was born in Dorset, England, in the reign of King Henry VIII. His family were undistinguished farmers, but young Frederick Ketch decided to go to sea.
We have plenty of seamen in our family, Mr. Stobart.
Are you interested in history, Mr. Stobart?
Yes, I am. Frederick Ketch sounds like he was a pirate to me.
As I have already told you, sir, he was not a pirate.
They hanged him, you know, down there on the beach in front of his family. Didn't bother with the trial, just whipped him out from his breakfast table and hoisted him up in chains.
Well, if he wasn't a pirate, what did they hang him for?
Envy. Pure green-eyed envy. He had been a successful privateer, you see, and had accumulated great wealth.
As rich as a mink in a paddock.
Shut up, Mina.
Yes, Frost.
The small-minded governor and his lackeys wanted his money, trumped up some ridiculous charge about breaking the conditions of his letter of marque, and hanged him like a common thief. The blackguards!
Letter of marque?
The document that permitted him to engage and destroy the enemies of the crown. The difference between a lawful privateer and a pirate.
Yoo-hoo! Sorry, Frost.
Well, why didn't Ketch just say, take a hike, guys, I've got a pirating license?
Frederick Ketch was not a pirate!
But he did show them his letter of marque.
But they destroyed it and hanged him anyway.
You were telling me about Captain Ketch. Do go on.
Oh, yes. He sailed under Hawkins.
Jim Hawkins?
John Hawkins, one of the great traders of the Elizabethan age. In 1568, Frederick Ketch was a young man serving aboard the Jesus, Hawkins' flagship. They sailed from England to Africa and across the wide Atlantic to these islands. Ketch was never to see the shores of England again.
How come Ketch never made it home?
Because the Spaniards sank the Jesus in an act of treachery.
You said Hawkins' fleet traded between Africa and the Indies. What was it they were trading?
Black men with no shirts.
You have to understand, Mr. Stobart, that this was the 16th century.
But that doesn't alter the fact that Hawkins and Ketch were slavers and pirates.
Would it surprise you to learn that Hawkins was also a devoutly religious man?
He transported slaves in a ship named after Jesus Christ. In my book, that makes him a hypocrite. What happened to Ketch? Was he killed?
Oh, no. He got away and returned to this island, to this very house.
The Frederick Ketch Memorial Museum.
I've been talking to Rio, the little fisher boy.
I'll thank you not to mention that little wretch in my presence.
Dirty little whelk. Nasty fishy boy.
That will do, Mina.
I gather you don't have much time for the little boy.
That child is a delinquent, Mr. Stobart.
Yeah, well, he's only, what, 11, maybe?
A knave with one hand on the tots.
What is it about Rio that you don't like, Miss Frost?
Well, once upon a time, he and Emily...
Be quiet this instant, Mina.
What can you tell me about Emily?
Emily? What business can she be of yours?
Her parents were killed in a typhoon.
We, as her only living relatives, took it upon ourselves to raise the child.
That's good to know Charity isn't dead.
Oh, but she is. Washed overboard in the typhoon.
Mr. Stobart wasn't talking about Emily's mother. He was being sarcastic.
What else can you tell me about Emily?
How dare you pry into our family in this way? I refuse to answer any more of your impertinent questions.
You're really fond of that cat, aren't you?
He is our companion and our solace.
I thought about catnapping the little monster until they let me in, but it wasn't my style. Maybe there was some other way I could use their affection for the cat to get me into the house. Okay, it was time for diversionary tactics. I thought I saw a little girl down on the beach.
You must be mistaken.
He must be mistaken. Mustn't he, Frost?
I'm sure I'm not. A little girl and that young fisher boy.
What? It's not possible. What were they doing?
Oh, the kinds of things that all little boys and girls get up to at their age.
When I was a little girl, we used to play cows and milkmaids.
Woe betide you if you're lying to us, Mr. Stobart. Heaven help you.
With a creak of ancient corsetry, the sisters sailed majestically over the distant horizon. A large tree stood beside the house, with a suggestive U formed by the branches. I couldn't think of any reason to climb the tree. It was a sturdy, extendable ladder. The ladder extended easily. It was a flagpole, one of a pair. Hi, Puss. Want to play? Hey, cat. Watch where you're putting those claws. How come the old ladies closed the museum?
It's Bronson's doing. Him have the plans for redeveloping the museum. Oh, I know all about Mr. Bronson's plans.
I think Bronson is trying to cheat those sweet, vulnerable old ladies.
That's a little unfair, isn't it?
Okay, he's trying to cheat those seriously demented, poisonous old ladies.
You have to admire his acumen.
Tell me about your friend Emily.
Why are you so interested in Emily Ketch?
Emily Ketch? A descendant of Captain Ketch, the pirate?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't bother you?
Why should it? We don't responsible for our ancestors.
Can you let me have a fish, kid?
I thought you say you don't like fish.
It's not for me. It's a present.
For the old ladies? Well, it makes a change from flowers and candy.
No, it's for their cat.
Okay. What do I get out of it?
I can pay you. I've got Quaramontian dollars, French francs, and traveler's checks.
You must be joking. The nearest bank is 3 islands away.
Is this worm worth a fish?
Could be good bait. How did it die?
I think it drowned in tequila.
Just like my Uncle Gabriel. Yeah, I'll have that. Okay, I'll get you a fish. It might take a while, though.
It was Rio. Did you see the weird sisters come by here?
Did I? They look madder than usual, so I hide until they're gone by.
Just as well. They thought you were playing with Emily. Boy, were they steamed.
Emily, you're madder than them.
There was nothing else I wanted to ask the boy. It was a net left to dry in the sunshine. Can I take a look at your plans?
No way! What interest would they be to you, anyhow?
I've always had a secret desire to be a surveyor.
You have?
Sure. I mean, you surveyors are just like the great explorers, aren't you? Henry the Navigator, Vasco da Gama, Chris Columbus. Maybe you don't sail uncharted seas or discover new continents, but you're okay in my book.
Horse shit. You just stay away from those plans, you hear? Say, was that kid giving you trouble?
The Fisher boy? No, he was very polite.
Ha! He's a juvenile delinquent. I suppose he told you I was a crook.
Oh no, he's a good kid. He'd never say anything like that.
Sure he would, the little punk.
Tell me about the 2 old ladies.
Who? The Ketch sisters. One of them's crazy as a coot, and the other will turn you to stone if you're not careful.
Did you see the sisters go by?
Yeah, they wanted to string that Fisher brat up. Of course, I told them where to find him.
A fink as well as a creep. Nice.
But he'd managed to vanish somehow.
Catch you later, Bronson. No luck with a fish?
No, man. They don't want bite. That's 'cause they know there's a storm brewing.
Storm? I don't think so.
Hey, I caught a bite.
You have?
It's a big one. A real big one.
Reel him in, Rio. Jeez, that must be a whale or something.
Rustiest whale I ever see.
It was half a rusting bicycle frame. The only serviceable part of the bicycle's wreck was a rubber inner tube. You just never know when you're going to need stuff like that. What can I do with an old inner tube?
I know what I do. I'd make the biggest catapult you'd ever seen and use it to smack Bronson with a fish from a safe distance.
Those ballistic fish shenanigans of yours are gonna get you in deep trouble someday. I still need a fish, Rio.
Okay, make me try again.
Maybe you better change your bait.
There's a fish, my man.
I can't put it in my pocket while it's flapping about like that.
No problem.
I couldn't reach it. Maybe I had a future as a surrealist artist. That should get the old cat dancing. I just hoped it didn't give itself a cardiac. A cute little putty tat. I didn't have a flag on me, so the flagpole would have to stay bare. I wasn't going to risk further laceration by the cat's claws. I put my lucky lump of coal in the catapult. Took aim. No! My lucky piece of coal vanished into the distance. It looked like it was going into orbit. I put the ball in the catapult. Took aim. Yes! Okay, so it was a lucky shot, but I'd knocked the theodolite target clean off the end of the flagpole.
What the hell's going on here?
Hi, Bronson. Nice to see you, too.
You again. Have you been screwing around with my theodolite target? Where is it? I had to climb out of the window to put that one on. Damn it, I'm gonna have to go through all that again.
Not this time. The house is locked up and the sisters aren't here.
Hell's teeth! I'll have to put the spare target on the other flagpole. A whole morning's work wasted. I'm gonna fix all this and then I'm gonna fix you, you hear?
Yeah? Fine. I'll be waiting. Bronson was examining the marker. What you doing, Bronson? Just hanging around?
I'm gonna kill you for this, Stobart! Get me down from here!
What, so you can kill me? Gee, you talked me out of it, Bronson. I felt a little guilty about leaving Bronson up there, but not much, obviously. The marker was a bright, shiny thing, and I have a weakness for bright, shiny things. It wasn't going to be much use without the theodolite, though. The novelty value of having an inner tube in my pocket had worn off. I left it there. With Bronson out of the way, I could finally get a clear look at the plans. Engineers' drawings didn't mean much to me, but one thing was clear. These plans were for a 5-story, 200-roomed, luxury, pirate-themed hotel. Another stain on the bedspread of paradise.
You there! Why is Mr. Bronson hanging from that flagpole?
He climbed up there of his own accord.
Then help him, you stupid man! Quickly, before he falls!
Hi. Could I ask...
Never mind that! Help poor Mr. Bronson!
Here. Bronson's plans.
This means nothing to me.
She's not wearing her reading glasses.
Ah, wait! Yes, I see now. I see it all too clearly. That man is planning to build a huge hotel. Bronson is a confidence trickster. Mina, we have been duped. I'm glad we didn't sign his contract.
Oh, I hate tricksters, especially confident ones.
Come, Mina. Mr. Bronson, you may consider yourself persona non grata.
Yes. Crave Canum.
Kindly disentangle yourself from our flagpole and eject yourself from our property this very minute.
Disentangle. Eject.
Hey, cut that out, you crazy old bat!
How dare you! Mina isn't crazy, she's just engagingly eccentric.
Yeah, as a bedbug. Ouch!
Lovely as this little vista is, I'd be really grateful if you could let me into the museum now.
Certainly, young man. We are most grateful to you for exposing this scoundrel. Mina, the lock.
Thanks, ladies.
Stobart, be a pal. Get these harpies off me. Ooh!
While George was basking in the sun-drenched Caribbean, I went to London. It was a long shot, but I thought I'd start my search for the Jaguar stone at the British Museum. The carving looked Central or South American in style, perhaps Aztec. The two Japanese girls were inexplicably amused by something. Bonjour. I wonder if you could help me.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
What's so funny? Oh, never mind. It was a stone identical in size and style to the Coyote stone. However, this stone bore the image of a jaguar. The mask looked more African than American. The cabinet contained a dagger decorated with Mayan designs. There was a huge carving of somebody who must have been important once. It was a small flat square of polished obsidian. Nothing like the one I was looking for. According to the caption, this was the scrying mirror given to Dr. John Dee by Sir Francis Drake.
Can I help you, miss?
What can you tell me about the scrying mirror?
Ah, that belonged to the alchemist and part-time Elizabethan spy, Dr. John Dee. It was brought back from the New World by Sir Francis Drake and presented to him. It's Mayan, you know.
What is a scrying mirror?
It's rather like a crystal ball, and you can't see anything in it. Apparently, he had a partner who used it to talk with angels. If you ask me, you were barking mad.
Have you ever heard of an English sea captain called El Draco?
El Draco? Not a very English name.
I think that's what the Spanish would have called him. It was about the time of the conquistadors.
16th century. Oh, I know. That's what the Spanish called Sir Francis Drake.
Francis Drake? Have you got anything here that belonged to him?
Indeed, miss. We have a couple of artifacts he brought back from one of his journeys.
It didn't look anything like the Coyote stone. This one was like a little black shaving mirror. Is the scrying mirror the only piece of obsidian Drake gave Dee?
Funny you should ask. There's another called the Jaguar stone. Dee never liked it, though. Said there were angels in the mirror, but devils in that stone.
Can I take a closer look at Dee's mirror, please?
No, you cannot. That's why the cabinet is locked. They tried some newfangled interactive scheme. And you can guess what happened. Bloody kids ran off with half the exhibits. Hands-on experience, my foot. In my days, it was hands off, I ask you. What do kids know about ancient Mayan civilization? Nothing.
Can you tell me something about the Jaguar stone?
Certainly, miss. The so-called Jaguar stone was brought back from the Americas by Sir Francis Drake and presented with, as you already know, the more famous scrying mirror to John Dee. The old loony didn't like the stone, though. Reckoned it was tainted by the devil. Come along, miss. I'll show you the mirror.
I've already... Oh, never mind.
There. John Dee's famous scrying mirror, given to him by Francis Drake.
Do you know if this mirror has any relevance to Tezcatlipoca?
Oh? I can't even say it. Ah, there's someone here who'll be able to help you better than me. This young lady has some questions to ask, Professor. I think she's from France.
Professor Roubillet?
Eh? What?
You two know each other, do you? Excuse me, the telephone.
We meet again.
Mademoiselle, France, eh?
Yes, I believe that's where you live, Professor.
I have a house there, on the outskirts of Paris, but I haven't been back for many months.
I thought you were going to stay in Quaramonte to witness the eclipse.
Alas, business comes first. An important consignment of artifacts on loan to the British Museum. But I intend to return to Quaramonte in plenty of time.
Professor Oubier, your taxi's here.
If you'll excuse me, I have some urgent business to attend to at the docks.
Can you answer me some questions about the Jaguar stone?
Certainly, miss. If you just step this way. It's gone. Some sods half-inched it.
Half-inched?
Stolen it, miss. Never mind. The silent alarm will have been tripped. I'm afraid nobody can leave until our crack security team gets here.
How long will that take?
Could be a while. I think it's their tea break.
The thief could be miles away by then.
Don't you worry about that, miss. Just don't try to leave.
It was too much of a coincidence that Oubier showed up and the stone promptly disappeared. I didn't have time for their crack security team to finish their tea. I had to get after him. It was a small key intended for a small lock. It would probably be less suspicious if I kept away from the empty case. I didn't steal the stone. I was nowhere near it.
So who do you suppose did steal it?
It must have been Oubier.
Huh! Begging your pardon, but he's a man of letters. A professor.
So was Moriarty. Man of letters or not, he's your culprit. Look at this. The thief left this key in the cabinet.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That makes the theft an inside job, right?
Oh dear.
In other words, the thief was Professor Oubier.
Well, let's leave that for the police to decide, shall we? I better phone them right away. Hello?
I knew I had nothing to worry about if the police were called.
Yes, I'll hold.
But I had to catch up with Oubier, and fast. It was a woven wall hanging with a South American design. The key didn't fit this lock. The key unlocked the case. I locked the case again and took the key. The key unlocked the case. The attendant was deep in thought, waiting for someone to answer his phone call. The doors were securely locked. It was an obsidian dagger, thin and razor sharp. The dagger might lever open the doors, but I wasn't going anywhere until I knew where Oubier had gone.
You'll have to be quick, miss. I'm on the phone.
Don't you think it's suspicious that Oublier has urgent business at the docks?
Not in the slightest, young lady. He's gone to oversee the unloading of cargo, an exhibition of Mayan sculpture on loan from Mexico City.
What's the name of the ship?
The Xibalba Princess.
I levered the handle open with the thin dagger.